So you all, I'm going to ask a lot of questions today, and I'm going to give you a lot of information. Are you ready? So here are the questions. Number one, what does a person look like at your organization or any organization that you've ever been with? What does a person look like who has resigned and stayed in place? Have you seen that before? That they're engaged, but they're not engaged. What does a person, how would you describe that person in one word? Let's talk, come on. And online, there's several hundred people watching online. Join us and we'll share that too. What's it look like? Unmotivated. Unmotivated. Okay. You said that with great enthusiasm.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Who else?
Discouraged.
Discouraged. Troublesome.
Motion. They're just going through the motions.
Just going through the motions. Yes, sir.
Placid.
Say that again.
Placid.
Placid. Those are big words. I'm from West Virginia, Chris. Okay? Yes. Under the radar. Okay? Not taking risks. Yes.
Waiting to be fired.
Waiting to be fired. That's a good one.
I think they're toxic to the underage.
Wow. Excellent. Joel?
Yep.
Good to see you. Who else?
Yeah, we have some online too. Autopilot, quiet, aloof, complacent, grumpy, unhappy, negative.
Well, we've laid it out today. We're all done. Wow. Over here. Yes, sir. Culture killer. Man, you guys are awesome. Yes, sir.
Victim.
Victim. Wow. Anybody else? Yes.
Underachieving.
Underachieving. Do you see how quick that you guys could describe that? The impact of someone who's disengaged, who wants other people to think they're engaged, has an incredible toxic impact upon a culture. Would you agree with that? And what we're describing is what this new term, it is an old reality. It's a cute term. It's a buzz right now. But it's always existed. And it's called quiet quitting. Quiet quitting is someone who has quit, but doesn't have the courage to take responsibility for their decisions to quit. They want the paycheck without the responsibility. They'll do the bare minimum, and they know how to toe the line. What I want to do is I want to share with you 10 signs of a quiet quitter. Amazingly, you guys have already figured out most of them. Number one, they're not happy. I call them a walking Eeyore. They are negative to other people. Quiet quitters never lift up a room. Quiet quitters never lift up a room. And if you cannot provide lift, you're not a leader. One of the marks of a leader is that you provide lift for whatever team that you're in. And at the same time, you're negative to teammates. And you're a pro at whispering and murmuring and saying it just under the radar. So you're not exposed. Second one, they're not happy. Second one is they do not encourage teammates. Third is they are resistant to feedback. In fact, if you give them feedback, they are ticked off. How dare you? They are great at gaslighting, making you feel that your observations are way off, and they'll make you feel stupid while you're talking to them. Number 4, they are caught up in the game of comparison. They have an entitled mentality that they're always upset that someone gets paid more than they do. It doesn't matter whether they're being paid fairly or not. It doesn't matter whether your employer is honoring his or her commitments. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're being paid a competitive wage that is appropriate for the market. You're always comparing yourself to other people. Always comparing what you don't have and what they don't have, and therefore, I'm a victim. I'm misunderstood, I'm mistreated. And so, a fifth one, just like what I said, they see themselves as a victim, mistreated, misunderstood, ignored, and for not having their needs met. These are folks who think that the role of the organization they are a part of is to meet their needs. Not to be a giver, but to be a taker. Here's another one. They are not connected to purpose. They are not connected to purpose. You've got an entire team that is coming together. They're subjugating their egos around a greater purpose, greater than they are. And lives are being impacted. People are being changed, and because of what you are offering, and you're loving coming to work. And a quiet quitter could care less about purpose. A quiet quitter is only there for one reason. And what is it? I need the paycheck. And by the way, there are people who come to work mainly because of a paycheck who do their very best work. There are people who come to work that work is not a source of meaning for them. But by golly, they're responsible. And they do what they're told. They don't create drama. They're all in those 8 hours while they're there. And they go home to their family because they want work-life balance. That is a strength. So I'm not talking about someone who has a life outside of work. With me? Now, and so, here's another one, number 7. They undermine leadership behind their back. They'll talk quietly to everyone else except to the leader's face. Oh, it is dangerous to put a quiet quitter in an office with 2 other people. Why? What will happen? Gossip, all the little things that are going on, and they have a subculture all by themselves. Have you ever seen that? And so that's another one. They can become cancerous very quickly. Quiet quitters can become cancerous very quickly. Also, number 9, they are caught up with what's wrong and they ignore all the things that are going well. They are caught up in seeing what's wrong, and they're the folks that will say, if I owned this company, if I had this company, I can't believe you're doing this. If I were a school superintendent, they're the ones who know everybody's job better than everybody else who's doing the job. And then, number 10, they're quick to blame. They are quick to blame. If they are not responsible for their state of mind, they are not responsible for any of their dissatisfaction. It is their finger goes one way. What is it? It goes this way. That's a quiet quitter. And you all have already demonstrated it has a huge impact. Now, before we go any further, let me say a couple things. I've had people, we are in a labor shortage market. Agreed? Especially if you're in a trade or you are in a manufacturing capacity, even more. And here's what I often get. Yes, I've got a couple of quiet quitters on my team, but I am not going to confront. I can't confront that. Why? What's the rationale? You've heard it. What's the rationale? They'll leave. They are a warm body. Does that sound fair? You all, let me say this. The issue is not whether it should be dealt with or not. It's going to be dealt with one way or the other. If you don't deal with it, what happens? It will deal with you. Now listen, if you've got quiet quitters on your team that are reporting to you, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. And so you've got to address the situation. I'd rather have a team of 9 that's on the same page than a team of 9 and 3 quiet quitters, because every part of your drama is happening with those 3 people. And you've got drama replacing purpose. So here we go, real quick. Ready? This is for the leaders who need to develop a culture where you minimize quiet quitters. 1, are you casting vision, a compelling vision, over and over and over? 2, are you lifting up wins with your people? Are you practicing praise and recognition? 3, are you sharing information with them? The good news and the bad news, that they feel included in the information loop? Or do they feel left out? Number 4, are you sharing clear expectations about what you need from your team and why meeting those expectations are necessary for the team? The why is just as important as the what and the how. Number 5, are you seeking constant input from your team? My team says my favorite question, I don't even know I ask, is what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Healthy cultures create idea factories. Lastly, do your people know that you care and appreciate them? Do your people know that you care and appreciate them? Or do they see or think that you are a tool to help make them rich? Gang, people will run over a cliff for you if you genuinely love people and you love them for the right reasons. That's building a healthy culture. So you all, has this been helpful? If you're willing to take the finger and look at yourself, are there things that you can take away from this? Thank you, you all. See you next month.